So let's talk about that for a minute.
Mm.
So we finish up our business on Wednesday, and I'm not here Thursday, so I'm starting to prepare for what our day looks like the next day and how we navigate it. And um, I'm a little disconnected at that point. I'm like, all right, I could take a breath. KC, Jesse, they got everything covered tomorrow, and I get a call from Matt George, and Matt's like, hey, did you see the Kuminga stuff I just dropped? No. Can you fill me in? Get like I'll pull it up, but can you fill me in? So he's filling me in. I'm pulling up his tweets as he's talking and he's laying it all out. All right. Like you feel pretty good about this? He was like, yeah. Like I did what I do. Like I'm good. Said, okay, do you want what do you want from me? Because I ain't doing nothing. So what do you need from me? As I'm talking to Matt, I get a text. And I don't read it to Matt right away. I said, hey, not for me. Do you have the deal? He was like, I have what I think the latest deal is. And he presented it to me. And it's the Saric, Devin, and 2 second-round picks. And I said, okay. I just got a text that there's a discrepancy on. So I'm not doing anything with this. So you have to rectify this or reconcile it. I have Saric and Devin with a protected first-round pick. I haven't sent a single text to a single person yet. And I think this was said on the Insider, so I don't think it's a big deal that I say this. James texts me. He has Saric, Devin, and I think he had a protected first. And then I finally sent a text and said to someone who Matt doesn't know, this is just someone completely removed who we've gone to in the past. He had Saric, Devin, and 2 first-round picks. So it was always those 2 players and some form of draft compensation that appeared to change. I point that out for a very specific reason. Here we are on Monday. All of this stuff broke on not late Wednesday, but Wednesday evening. I've read tweets from people that I like, respect. I've read tweets from people that I don't like and don't respect. And there is this running thought, and I know Dave jumped on this right away. I saw Ant-Man follow it, and Sam co-signed Anthony Slater. Oh, this isn't close. I saw Bonte tweeting, "Oh, it's so funny. Kings fans and reporters think this is if this call took place, it was a 10-second call. No, dog, it wasn't." Everybody from Sacramento and Detroit had virtually the same exact deal, with the discrepancy being in the draft, the pick selection. And to pretend, I don't know if the Warriors got backlash. I don't know if they got embarrassed. I don't know if they thought they could. I don't know if some general manager said we could do better. I don't know what happened that slowed this deal down. But to act like this wasn't close to happening is laughable. Matt, James, you, me, whoever chooses to report on something is reporting on a situation as it's happening. It's not to predict whether the deal gets done. It's not to protect one of the franchises in it. If the Kings got their feelings hurt because this deal got public, tighten up your goddamn ship. That's your problem. Now, it's very clear when the Sacramento Kings started calling people. I'll break kayfabe. I like Dave. I text with Dave regularly. Dave is perfectly fine with me. Dave got a call, and I would bet you Dave got a call asking him to clean this up. Because no one had nothing. Dave threw in a Russell Westbrook part. Everybody who listens to the show was in on that bit. But the Kings weren't paying attention. So they're like, oh, he's out here trying to force this Russell Westbrook thing. No one tweeted about Russell Westbrook except for one person. And all I did was tweet a GIF. You responding to a GIF? This organization needs to tighten itself up a little bit. Matt's job is not to help the Kings get deals done. Matt's job is to report what is happening in the moment. Whether I don't know how deep James went on his reporting. He had it. I don't know what he did with it, but their job. Hey, this is happening right now. This is where the King. This is where Kuminga is at. This is where the Kings are at. We were trying to find the dollar figure. We couldn't. I kept hearing one, and I said, "Hey, this is the dollar figure I got, but I got it from one person, and this person is not someone who would be in on the negotiations. This is at best the third person on the phone who heard this deal." So I don't know what the dollar figure is or if that's the holdup. But if we put 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 together, we can find out there's a discrepancy in the draft compensation. So I could work from that. But this whole idea that he was wrong or that the report was wrong, it was all Matt was 100% right in everything he was reporting. Those people who had this stuff in Detroit were 100% right on everything they were reporting. The only people who are saying they are wrong are the people who the Kings are telling you to tell them that they're wrong, and the Golden State Warriors. I'll speak for Matt. I normally wouldn't. I'll speak for Matt. Extremely confident that the organization was very far along on this Kuminga deal. Where it's hung up at, I have no idea. But the idea that it's not close, the idea that it wasn't happening, the idea that this was all manipulative, absurd. Matt's a goddamn news reporter. Matt doesn't get paid for his opinion. He reports. We talk trash. That's what we do. We are not reporters. Our jobs are very different. He did his job and he did it very, very well.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. I don't know how much you saw on Thursday, if at all, but I was started the show, I was talking to Jesse, and I was like, I was thinking about that deal coming into the studio, and I was like, I said, man, that deal is so below what you think the value is, and it's so random. It's got to be real. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, why would that be the deal? Why would that be the offer? I understand, like I said, we do the bit on the show about general manager KC and not coming in with your best offer. I get all that, but I was like, why would that be the offer? And I landed on because Scott Perry knows what the hell he's doing. And Scott Perry knows what the market is for Jonathan. He knew on Wednesday what the market was for Jonathan Kuminga. He knew who was involved and how much it would take compensation-wise to get a deal done. The Warriors may not have known. That's where everything gets a little murky, because I think, and this is just me reading the tea leaves, just critically thinking, I think Scott knew on Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever, this is his market.
You saw the Wizards deal?
Yeah.
That's your market.
Yeah.
It's called a market analysis if you were looking at a home. James loves to use the home analogies. That's a market analysis, and Scott Perry did it.
And this, and maybe this is where things get a little murky, but this, I don't think the Warriors knew the market. I don't think, well, maybe Dunleavy and all these other guys did. Here's where I think some things started to fall apart. I do think the Warriors got embarrassed. I think specifically Joe Lacob got embarrassed. Once he figured out what was going on, the conversations that were being had,
said,
I think he got embarrassed. And I don't think Joe Lacob knew at that time, Friday, whatever, the market for Jonathan Kuminga. I still think a lot of the people in Golden State and some writers still don't understand what the market is for Kuminga.
You know what the market isn't? I'm looking at, I don't know who Josh is, but salute, welcome to the show. Hit the thumbs up button. He says Kuminga for Saric and Carter and a bunch of laughing emojis. The Golden State Warriors would trade Jonathan Kuminga for that $800 cup of coffee I had to have the other day. They don't want him. They don't want him, and we are in a completely different world financially than we used to be. It's why this has arguably been the lamest free agency in history. All of the built up, man, this is going to be a seismic offseason. Nah, teams are scared to death. They're scared to spend money. They're scared of aprons. Restricted free agency has a chokehold on this league right now. And the Warriors are like, test your market. Test your market. Go ahead. Match, not match, whatever. The fact is, the Warriors have a player that they don't want. But they know someone else wants them. The problem for the Warriors is they know the someone else's know that they don't want him. And so this big knock your socks offer for a young player like Kuminga, it ain't happening. It's not happening. And you might not get a better offer than a young player like Devin Carter, who I'm not switching it up. I don't like it. I don't like him. I don't think he's good. You saw something in him at the end of the season that maybe you can build off of. If he's a king, I hope you're right. But from what I see right now, man, you could do whatever you want to with that. Your best bet might be, how some of y'all like to say, take a flyer on someone. Your best bet might be taking a flyer on Devin Carter. Because if that Washington Wizards offer is indicative of what the rest of the league is talking to you about, bro, the Kings could put you in a position where you just gotta go ahead and match it.
Look,
match that offer.
You said something a second ago, and there's a couple of components going on here, right? You said the Warriors don't want Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga doesn't want the Warriors. The Warriors have an understanding of what the market is, but here's where things get a little fishy, and it's different. I can understand how people in the media, Warriors fans, aren't seeing this because it is the Kings. We've been dealing with incompetent GMing for a decade. Scott Perry knows Jonathan Kuminga's market more than the Warriors do. He knew it on Wednesday. Not only did he know the trade market, he knew the Warriors didn't want him. He knew Kuminga didn't want to go back to the Warriors. He knew what the rest of the league was willing to pay for Jonathan Kuminga money-wise. I'm not saying he's like perfect or he's this savant or anything else like that. Scott Perry has known all of this. He caught the Warriors with their pants down. They got caught with their pants down. He has been on, and the reason why I feel this confident about this is the offer is so out of left field. Sarge, why would you trade Sarge? Like, why would he be? First of all, why did you acquire him? Second of all, why would he even be involved in a trade where somebody would want it? It's that specific. You know how it's like sometimes when somebody has like accusations or something like that, the accusations are so out of left field, you almost have to take them seriously. Because who would make this up? Who would make up putting Sarge in a trade package? It almost has to be real. At least that's the offer. And that's what Scott Perry believes is part of the value for Jonathan Kuminga. And like I said on Thursday, Scott Perry is looking at it saying, like, I know you don't want him. I know he don't want to be there. If you want to go ahead and pay him, go ahead and pay him. Do it. Pay him. Like, fine, do what you do. Or if you want to trade him, he told them, go find a better deal. If you can find a better deal, if you can find somebody that can up their original deal or whatever the case may be, more power to you. You did a great job, Mike Dunleavy Jr. But go ahead. I know you don't want him, and I know there's not a better deal out there. But you can go look for one if you want to. He's 2 steps ahead this whole time. This entire time. In this situation, he's 2 steps ahead. Now, predicting
it still could result in nothing.
It could result in nothing. It could result in the Warriors just bringing him back. Mm-hmm. That's an option for sure. Because everybody want to talk about who got the most leverage.
Absolutely nuts.
Fine. If you want to say the Warriors got the most leverage because they could just bring it, fine.
The Warriors got leverage to do something they don't want to.
Right. Go ahead and do it.
Like you absolutely can. Like you could, if the problem, leverage is the wrong word. They don't want to. That's what this boils down to. They don't want to.
They've shown it in so many different ways over the last 18 months. They do not want Jonathan Kuminga. They don't want him. So go ahead. You can bring back a player that you don't want and that doesn't want to be there. Or, like I said on Wednesday, and I think this is what Scott Perry said, go find a better offer. If you think this is a low ball, if you think this is a bad deal, go find a better deal. And if you can find a better deal, take that deal. And I salute somebody had something that I didn't see coming. But remember on Friday, maybe Saturday, I can't remember. All of a sudden, see, this is how funny stuff starts happening. All of a sudden, Washington pops up. And I'm not saying any of these reporters are wrong on the intel that they're getting. I think the intel, the people who are giving them that intel, either got an agenda or wrong themselves. All of a sudden, Washington pops up. Within 12 hours, Washington trades for Cam Whitmore.
Yeah.
They weren't involved in this.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they were never involved.
Not to any
this.
serious degree.
No. And Miami goes and makes their deal today. Scott Perry just said, I told you wasn't going to find a better offer. Now you decide whether you take this one. And like I said, even that, like, because before we were under the impression it was 2 second rounders. That didn't have to be the final offer. If I was Scott Perry and I'm negotiating, I'll sweeten the deal a little bit. What you want, a first and a second? Like we can change on the parameters of what the draft compensation is, but player-wise, that's the best you're going to do. That's what Scott Perry telling him. And so far, he hadn't been wrong. We'll see if somebody comes in out of nowhere, but RKO out of nowhere. But so far,
Dunleavy it's fine, and that's fine. Like Dunleavy going to be that one to have to go back to Steve Kerr and say, "Yeah, he's still here.
Yeah,
you figured out." Like but my man Josh in here talking about, sign him now, trade him later. Cool. To who?
Right.
To who? You can't trade him without a dollar figure attached today. You gonna trade him later? Go ahead, do that. Oh, right. You're gonna trade him. You're gonna trade a player who's gonna return to a team that he's not playing for. What are we doing?
And you bring him back and he's on the offer sheet. I'm talking about the offer sheet. Why would anybody give you anything better than Sarge and Devin Carter for a guy they know is about to be a free agent next year? Unrestricted free agent. You think you're going to bring him back on the qualify and you're going to trade him? Look, people in Warriors land, they're talking about leverage. You can have leverage all you want or think you have leverage all you want. The market has spoken. Do with it what you want. Bring him back if you want to. There ain't no sweat off Scott Perry's back. We tried to go get this guy. They wanted to bring him back. All right, it's whatever. We'll move on with what we were doing for the rest. We'll go on the Schroeder trade and do whatever and still find somebody else to try and take Malik Monk or whatever we're doing. Like it's like we want the guy, talking about Scott Perry. We want him, but we're not gonna pay you. We're not gonna overpay when we know what your cards are.
Yeah, and overpay isn't always based on a player or the talent evaluation of a player. It's based on the market. Home prices go up when the market is hot. They go down when the market is cold. It's the market. It's not the house.
Right.
You might think the world of Kuminga. We know 2 things. One, the Warriors don't. And as you pointed out, the market doesn't appear to either. And that's that.
Look, I think Jonathan Kuminga, like in my mind, watching the game, all this other stuff, I think the trade compensation should be more than what the Kings are offering. But guess what? That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I think
it
should
doesn't
be.
Exist. Yeah. It doesn't exist. As long as Mike Dunleavy and Steve Kerr and whoever else is involved in decision makings at Golden State can decide, well, yeah, we just got to bring him back. As long as you're fine with that, because if the market is bad now, how much worse does it get when you bring him back and don't play him? How much worse does it get when Draymond crosses him and Kuminga decides, no, I've seen this video before, I'm going to fight back? Because I'd imagine if Steve Kerr doesn't want him back, I don't imagine the brain contingent does of Steph and Draymond, because for some reason Draymond gets to make decisions or have an opinion. I don't imagine he does, but I'm sure he'll react rationally when Jonathan Kuminga walks into training camp next 2 months from now, 3 months from now.
In the chat, Josh, I don't know if it's the same Josh or whatever, he says, that's all I need to hear, KC. You know that it's just trash talking about the trade offer. Apparently it's not. Like, Josh and others, including myself, are overvaluing Jonathan Kuminga in this climate. You're overvaluing him, Josh. Like you can tweet and comment your little heart away about what you think it should be. Guess what, Josh and everybody else? It doesn't matter. What it is what it is. The market has spoken. That Saric for and Devin Carter and a couple picks is actually not trash. It's the best one you'll get. It's the best offer as of right now. And I'll put it to you like that. I don't know what you think is going to happen, Josh and everybody else. If there is a better offer, it's not 4 first-rounders and Giannis. It'll be equal to or slightly above what that offer is. I don't know what you think you're going to get. So it could be equal, and the Warriors just not want to do business with the Kings. That's a possibility too. It could be Cody Crispert in a second rounder. It could be that. But I don't know what you think. Oh, we're going to pass on the Kings offer because we're going to get KD and Jalen Green in 4 firsts. Like, what do you think you're going to get? Are you not paying attention? I'm talking to the Warriors now.
Teams.
Are you not?
That's a crazy deal right there. It's another one of them 17 deals right there.
Are you not paying attention to what's going on right now, Mike Dunleavy Jr.?
Yeah, speaking of, you want any indication of what the market is? It was just a 7-team deal. 7-team. For the first time in NBA history, there was a 7-team deal. That's the state of the NBA right now. That's the state of the salary cap. That's the state of these aprons. That's the state in which these teams are currently navigating. And they're playing the market figure better than they ever have. I have never, ever, ever seen an offseason where you're not gasping at a trade. You're not gasping at a salary. You're not gasping at, wow, this player got that. None of that has existed this offseason. Absolutely none of it. And it is out of one thing and one thing only. It's because Draymond Green was right. And these teams are scared to death of that apron. They're scared to death of making that one financial mistake that could screw them up for the next 3 to 4 years.